two individuals who I call a profile in courage. Simple, and it's not an exaggeration. And I'm talking about Danielle Kaminsky, the teacher, we'll call her the teacher, and she's a teacher who represents many teachers, not just here, but in many, many schools who are faced with what's going on today, the hate, the fear within schools, the anti-Semitism, the Jew hatred, and the other person is really Michael Baudry. This whole thing involving this school. By the way, this is called the School from Hell. That's what this school is. We're renaming it. We're changing that. We're going to have to get that off there. And this is a school from hell until the changes are made that need to be made. But to do the right thing, simply the right thing. Hate is hate, regardless of where it is coming from. When a teacher says, after experiencing horrible, horrible things in her classroom, in her school, when a teacher says, I live in fear going to work every day. Should anyone live in fear of going to work? Especially if you're working in a public school, in a public high school, that our tax dollars pay for everything? Do you think anyone should be afraid every single day, not look forward to working, not looking forward, not knowing what's going to happen that day in terms of the hate? Kill the Jews here at this school. Those are slogans, not by one individual, by many. Kill the Jews. I wish you were killed, Danielle is told. Dirty Jew. This is at this high school, public high school. Hey, here's one. My mother, who was in Auschwitz, would have nachas. Students saying, wish Hitler could have, quote, hit more Jews. A student with a Hitler mustache. Remember, this is high school. Students between the ages of 14 and 18 going from class to class with the Sieg Heil. That's what's going on in this freaking school. The principal of the school right now, Kammerman, she actually put out a letter over the weekend. She put out a letter. We need not to worry. We should have called off the press conference because the principal of the school sent something to everyone basically saying, I'm a Jew. I believe in Jewish values. All the stuff that's going on that Danielle has had to live with. Put her head on the pillow every night thinking about what went on. And God only, in your head, when there's hate, terrible things can happen. More than words even, physical assaults. Things like that have happened in this country. So this is very serious business. The hate of these young kids, this animosity towards the Jewish people. If they had a chance to murder Jews, is there any doubt they would do that if they could just get away with it? No question about it. Michael actually filed 15 complaints to the system, not privately, to the people in charge. The people in charge. He filed 15 complaints. He tried to get them to deal with what was going on here. The principal here, she needs to go. There's not even a question about that. She needs to be fired, period. Not reassigned to another school. A flyer distributed only last Thursday in this school. Listen to this. Public school, public high school, my tax dollars, your tax dollars. Honor the martyrs. They distributed this. Someone distributed this to all the students at the school. They invited people here to go to Brooklyn College where there was an event for the martyrs. We invite Brooklyn College to join the vigil for the martyrs of Palestine. Are those martyrs also the Hamas terrorist Nazis that butchered 1,200 Jews on October 7th? Are they the martyrs as well? I assume so. The principal of this school, there was an assembly, and she permitted students to speak to the assembly about honoring the freaking martyrs. They talk the talk and do nothing. Banks does nothing, and he will do nothing. Till this story came out, page 1 of the New York Post today. The story came out. His office was quoted as saying, we're going to investigate. Yeah. You got to hear this. But we're not aware of anything going on at this school. That's what he said. We're not aware. We have no information. We're going to investigate. But as far as we know, there's no problem. By the way, there's no problem because Berman, the Jew principal, said everything is okay. Everything is okay. I know Jews like that. My mother knew Jews like that in Auschwitz who betrayed the Jewish people. I have a copy. One, there are many students who went to this school. This is called a student transfer form. Many students who attended this school, ladies and gentlemen, this is an actual form, spoke to the mother. This young man begged and pleaded to be transferred from this school because of the Jew hatred, because he was afraid, and there are many. But, hey, by the way, the chancellor has no idea. He has no clue. That's the problem, he has no clue. That's why he's got to go.
Thank you so much, Dove. Well, thank you for the praise, but you're not even an elected official, and you're still standing here, and you have been standing with us for over 36 years, so thank you so much. And actually, this story didn't start yesterday because Ms. Kaminsky came to Dove 2 years ago. The issues at the school have been going on for years, way before October 7th, and after October 7th, it's just been amplified. So thank you, Dove, for listening. I know it's hard to come out, and I just want to thank the two of you, Michael Baudry and Ms. Kaminsky, because not only are they heroes, and not only are they brave, they're risking their safety and their jobs to come out and do this. So thank you so much. I think you deserve a round of applause. I also want to thank some of the organizations that are here with us. Gerard Filitti from the Lawfare Project and End Jew Hatred. Thank you for always speaking out and standing with us. Also Penny Berman from the Teachers Alliance, NYC Alliance. And also David Dince, who's going to say a few words, I think, after me, who's representing both Ms. Kaminsky and Michael Baudry. I just want to say that this is not one of these situations that we deal with all the time, where there's one incident and we come out and we talk and we have a press conference. This is a school where there are things happening every single day, and this has become really a culture where this behavior is tolerated and accepted. And the DOE is okay with it. This is now a pattern, a systemic problem. And the case here at the school is very different. It's nothing like I've ever seen before at a public school. This school is really a hellhole. Like Dove mentioned, it's a school from hell. I think Gerard has another name for it. But there is a real toxic and hostile environment here. It is impossible to teach here. For some students, it is impossible to go to school here. This is a place where this teacher, like Dove mentioned, and Dove talked about a lot of the things that are happening here, but this is a place where she lives in fear every single day to go to school and to come out to the parking lot to go home. This is a place where swastikas are painted on teachers' offices, on walls, in classrooms, on boards, on students' laptops, and this has become the norm at the school. She was called a dirty Jew, and students told her they want to kill all the Jews, they want to kill her. when she was cornered in a classroom where a student asked her if she loves Hitler, and where they were giving the Heil Hitler sign to her, guess what the principal had to say? She said, "This is okay, it's just part of an academic conversation. This is just typical discourse at a school." There have been multiple transfers at the school, students leaving the school because of the bullying, the anti-Semitism, the harassment that they have experienced. And I just want to say, by the way, I've corroborated many of these allegations because I spent about a week reviewing what's been happening here. And I spoke to the parents, I spoke to the students, I spoke to students who transferred, I spoke to students who are still at the school. I think, in fact, we have one student who is at the school or transferred, who was at the school, who may want to speak, right?
Where's the union?
And by the way, at the school, it's not just anti-Semitism that has been left unchecked. There's also been incidents of racism, KKK, drawn on somebody's laptop, I believe, a notebook of a student of color. 2 girls were called the N-word. Homophobic sentiments, and nothing's been done about that either, so I don't want to fail to mention that. There's been physical altercations with students. There's a list that's not ending, an infinite list of things that are happening here every single day, and it's been left unchecked. And the irony, the complaints fall on deaf ears. There's been no discipline, which is why this behavior has been encouraged. Not only has there been no discipline and nothing has been done about the safety of these 2 individuals and others, but the principal made complaints in retaliation because they are speaking out. So what have we gotten from the DOE? We've gotten lip service and maybe soft condemnations when we beg. But that is not enough. It's not enough for the chancellor to come out and say anti-Semitism is not okay. That's very nice, but what are you doing about it? The answer is nothing. I've been asking one question from the DOE for the last 8 months. What are the consequences for students who do this, and what are the consequences for teachers? I'm still waiting for an answer. I've been asking this question multiple times on multiple forums. 0. At this point, seeing the response from the DOE, where they say that the principal and the administration are great, they're doing a wonderful job, they've been dealing with everything that's happening at the school. At this point, they're just gaslighting us. These are lies, okay? And instead of saying we're going to investigate, they're actually saying there's no evidence. There's no evidence, everything is great. So they're denying everything that's taking place without actually reviewing and figuring it out. And they're praising the administrators who are the ones perpetuating all of this. I'm gonna let Mr. Dince say a couple of words, and thank you all for coming here today.
Hello, everybody. My name is David Dince, D-I-N-C-E. I am an attorney with the Louis D. Brandeis Center. We are a nonpartisan, nonprofit group of lawyers who advocate on behalf of Jewish students in educational settings as well as Jewish teachers who are subject to harassment and discrimination. We have the honor in this very, very difficult situation to represent Danielle and Michael going forward. We will be bringing the full weight of the law and every option possible to see that they receive equal treatment under law and that their civil rights are respected, and to press for changes at this school and throughout the city school system. I might say that even in this time of heightened anti-Semitism in the post-10/7 world, what we've seen and learned about going on at this high school is among the worst situations that we have had the misfortune of having to deal with. We believe, based on investigations that we've done and other matters that we're working on, that the city public education system is rife with anti-Semitism, and that significant change is required. As we go forward, for you members of the press, my clients are now represented by counsel, so I'd ask you not to press them for any further statements. Those questions can be directed to me. And thank you for coming today.
Thank you.
Thank you for having the courage to come forward. We need more people like you telling the truth and exposing what's going on and willing to fight for our community. So thank you for doing that. I almost didn't make it here today because I can't remember the name of the school after reading that Post article and hearing what's been going on. In my mind, this is Adolf Hitler High School, and that's what it will always be called because it's disgusting. And this is where we are today. We're normalizing hate. Can you imagine if instead of the Heil Hitlers, we had students wearing white hoods, walking around the hallways with nooses, that there would not be consequences the next day? You would have a SWAT team here to get them out in handcuffs. Double standards because there's no respect for the civil rights of the Jewish people. Let's call out David Banks. I don't think that this is just a matter of incompetence. I don't think this is just a matter of not wanting to know what's going on. I will tell you my opinion. He hates Jews. Anyone who refuses to act is not just incompetent. You have that hate in your heart. You don't allow this behavior to happen by accident. You don't allow this behavior to happen by closing your eyes. You do it because you have hate. So this is yet one more reason why we need to say no and make sure that these people don't have jobs. They need to be removed from the offices that they hold. There needs to be a litmus test where you respect the civil rights of all people and all minorities, and that includes the Jewish people. That is what we need to fight for, because at the end of the day, we've got students, we've got teachers, we've got community members who are affected every day by hate. We've seen this for years. We've seen the complaints for years, and nothing has changed. After October 7th, it's worse. The whole world sees it. You cannot pick up a newspaper without seeing another instance of Jew hatred. Yet we're all talking about it and not doing anything about it.
It is a war.
Yeah.
And the war is not just in Israel and Gaza. The war is right here in New York City. In the city which welcomed hundreds, millions of immigrants from all over the world, the most international city in the world. And we must be here today to discuss this. It's a shame. It's a shame. Ugly, disgusting, unacceptable. We don't want this here. We want the justice. When the student comes to the teacher and says, I wish Hitler would kill more Jews, what should be the consequences of that? You should expel the student from the school. You should call his children or her children, explaining why the student was expelled. So it shows the example of what's going to happen with other students if they do something similar, if they do something like that. But nothing happens. Zero, nothing. Not from the school principal, not from the NYC public school chancellor, nothing. So I called to the mayor. I called to the chancellor, to the Brooklyn Borough President Reynoso. I called to these people. It's in your hands to change this. It's in your hands. Because this is a cancer which will take over the whole system, the whole city. And it doesn't matter if you're Jewish or Armenian or any other descent or nationality or belief. This is the beginning of the cancer. Stop it. We can stop it now. And we must and we should stop it now.
Teachers enter education to help students, to teach them, to help them, to guide them, to support them. I'm so appalled at what these two people are going through, because when they get to my stage, they won't be able to look back the way I'm looking back, with joy and with happiness, because they, Ms. Kaminsky and Mr. Baudry, practice their names, have suffered, especially Ms. Kaminsky, the hatred, the vilification, the insults, the harassment, and the degradation of being tormented by children who have not been taught acceptable norms of behavior. Where are the grown-ups? Where are the grown-ups? In the room of the DOE, where are they? Who's teaching our young people that what they're doing is okay? Who says, yeah, go ahead, do your Jew hatred thing? Since when are the parents, I don't mean parents, I mean the grown-ups, missing? Where are they, Chancellor Banks? As educators, when we teach our kids about bullying, the main thing we teach them is don't be a bystander, right? Be an upstander.
Yeah.
Who has stood up for children who were so afraid to be in this school, they got a safety transfer, and they had to work for it. Chancellor, the DOE, you have failed the Jewish students of this city, and in so doing, you are failing all the students in this city, whether they be Jewish or not. So the NYCPS Alliance says to you, we are standing up for you. We are your upstanders. You are not alone. We thank you both for coming forth and being so brave and standing up for yourselves. Rest assured that the NYCPS Alliance will not be bystanders. We are upstanders. We will not take a seat. We will not sit down. We will stand up. We will speak out, because enough is enough.
My name is Danielle Kaminsky, D-A-N-I-E-L-L-E. Last name Kaminsky, K-A-M-I-N-S-K-Y.
Penny Berman, P-E-N-N-Y-B-E-R-M-A-N.
You can actually.
Of course, that's what I... Oh, the lawyer. Let me write that down here. There you go. There you go. Okay. One is enough. Okay. It's horrible.
I just
Oh, go. The parents are worse than the kids sometimes.
Oh, no problem.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. You did a good job over there. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right. So